Hey everybody, welcome to our podcast called
Can I Call You Dad?
And as you can see, I'm holding one of my favorite things in the whole wide world.
Fresh donuts.
Fresh donuts that my son and daughter-in-law bought for me.
You know, when you told us, was it you or Aunt Donna that said they're $5 every Friday?
Yeah, $4.99.
If it times out right, we're like, oh, it's Friday.
Right.
We should go get donuts. Especially if I'm going to see you the
Now,
next day.
I'd like to point out, and you probably can't see this, but out of a dozen donuts,
You ate one already.
There are 5 here, and I ate one, so they only brought me a half a dozen donuts. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah, we did. Well, today is Saturday.
Today is Saturday.
This one ate. Well, I want one. Aren't you going to take one?
Oh, what? Well, I can, yeah. I just had one though.
I didn't tell you to eat before. I wanted one. This is actually my breakfast. Let me see.
Well, you pick the one you want, and then that's the one I wanted.
I know.
I gotta eat
These are
this.
the best.
I gotta eat the long time.
So that's a maple one. I've never had that before.
I've had maple. Maple's good. Okay, well maybe if you're having breakfast watching this show, this is to you.
I have paper towels here.
Look at, this is good. This maple is very good. So we're gonna talk a little bit about maybe favorite TV shows. You wanna talk about that?
No.
No? What do you want to talk about?
Favorite TV shows. We don't have TV shows in common.
Yeah, we do.
It's just TV shows from when I was a kid.
Frasier. That's one of them.
I knew you were going to say that's the only thing you know.
The Office.
Yeah.
I didn't like The Office originally.
Armand got us both into The Office.
Right, and I didn't like it at first.
Remember his trick? What did he tell you? This is just dripping with chocolate. What did he tell you?
I don't know. I just know we stayed up till 2 a.m. one night watching like 18,000 episodes.
Yeah.
And you guys wouldn't let me go to bed.
So remember when was it his ACL? Or his MCL? So he tore.
ACL.
Yeah, so he tore his ACL. And he said, watch the whole first season.
Right.
And if you don't like it after the first season, you never have to watch anything I suggest again.
And then by the 3rd season, I was falling asleep.
It was a good show. Have
you
you ever watched Seinfeld?
I did watch. I watched Seinfeld after it was a big hit. I watched the reruns.
I never find the urge to watch it, but if it's on, I never really mind it.
There's a big hole in here. I have an eating disorder.
What are you more disappointed of? That there's a hole in the donut, so you feel like there's less donut, or that 6 pieces fell off of you?
Both. I feel ripped off, and I feel sad at the same time. But yeah, Seinfeld, never cared for it when it was on.
Yeah.
I didn't think, I thought the acting was mediocre at best. And then I started watching it in reruns, and still never. Friends too. Never watched Friends when it was on.
Never go out of my way to watch it, but I never mind it on. I laugh. I laugh at both shows.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how every episode of Friends, for all the years it was on, every time they went to the cafe, nobody was sitting on the couch. Ever.
It was their cafe.
It wasn't their cafe. There were other people, but there were other people sitting at High Boys, and they were like, it probably would be more comfortable to sit on the couch. And they were like, no, let's sit in this uncomfortable high stool over here instead, and leave that completely empty in case 5 white people come in and want to sit there.
It's a TV show.
I know, but it was stupid in my opinion. I mean, every once in a while there should have been someone else sitting there, and they would have had to sit somewhere else.
Maybe. There's a million ways you can look at that.
So I never liked that show. Everybody would talk about it. I'm like, I didn't see it. The other one I never liked was ER.
I never watched that.
Never liked. That was George Clooney.
I liked, probably because I'm a nerd at heart, right? I like Big Bang Theory.
I like that
a lot.
Yep. I like Big Ben.
I started watching it when I was really sick one time.
That's very high level writing too.
Yeah, it is.
For that show.
A couple other shows too.
Now,
when I was a kid, like Home Improvement was incredible.
Yeah, Home Improvement.
Right? Family Matters.
Yeah, Family Matters.
Step by Step.
Purple.
I forgot about Step by Step. Also, too, remember it was the same band.
Yeah.
It was the same band that sang all 3 of those big songs. Full House.
The John Stamos. Full House. Full House. John Stamos, yeah.
Remember that?
Absolutely.
There was a band that sang all.
Yeah. And Urkel's dad, Reginald Van Van Johnson was just on Dancing with the Stars.
I know.
First one kicked off, by the way. He was a horrible dancer.
He was a
But
cop.
I got to meet him when I worked at ABC. We
Yeah.
did the Say No to Drugs Parade, and we couldn't get Urkel, but we got the mom and dad, the brother, the son, and the daughter. The family came. Urkel, the guy playing Urkel, was way too famous by
Jameel
then.
White.
He wouldn't come. Yeah, Julia White, right?
Jameel.
Jameel or
Julian?
Jaleel?
What did you say?
Jameel White?
You like slurred.
I forgot if
Whatever
it was
J
Jaleel
name was.
or Jameel.
Jameel.
Anyway, he couldn't come.
Yeah.
But we had I was in charge of the celebrity hosts, so I got to meet Reginald, and I have a really nice letter actually from his wife thanking me for being so nice. And the son, Malcolm, I think Malcolm was the son's
I
name.
don't remember the son at all.
Anyway, he was.
I remember the
went
son.
to play racquetball with him. He's a racquetball player. One of the things they said was, "Is there anywhere that he might be able to play racquetball?" So I got to play racquetball with him, which was cool.
I love
So
how when I
Reginald's he's a great guy. Is what I'm getting at. Reginald
Yes.
was a really nice guy. I was sorry to see him get kicked off Dancing with the Stars.
got
On the one
paid.
hand,
He'll
on
be
the other
there at
hand,
the end,
he was a
yeah.
horrible dancer. So I wasn't real sad.
I think
But that was a
I
good
think
show.
The coolest photo I saw you have was the one with John Stamos, where he's
Mhm.
he's getting makeup on, but he took the time to smile and take a photo with you.
Yeah, I have a lot of those.
I know, trust me.
I have a lot.
I'm very aware. A lot of
No.
times people will give me compliments about the small little career that I
Mhm.
have, that I'm trying to grow. And they'll be like, oh, and I'll be like, yeah, well, compared to my dad, none of this means anything.
My number one treasure, and I have two of them. I just realized this.
Is this the yelling at Garth Brooks?
No,
Okay.
that was fun. I just,
And it wasn't yelling, it was just, we need you
my.
here.
I have two autographs from Betty White.
Well, one, I was there.
One you were there,
Yeah, when I played music for her.
correct, and one I was
For her
supposed to go.
event.
I was supposed to go pick her up at the airport,
Yeah.
and I ended up having to go out on another shoot again when I was at ABC.
Yep.
And so the person who went to go pick her up in the limo told her about me and said he's one of your biggest fans from Golden Girls and Password and all the other shows.
Yep.
And he was supposed to pick you up, and he was really upset that he couldn't come pick you up to meet you in person. So she took out an 8x10
Yeah,
and
signed
wrote an autograph for me. And then of course you and I got to meet her, and she was so nice. Remember?
Do you remember what it was for horses, right?
Uh huh.
I know she's huge on animals. I don't remember the event because we're talking 2009.
It was a long time ago. You were
I was like,
singing
you're-
background music for the cocktail party,
Thank you.
and she was.
Could have
this
just
was
left
when
it
you
at
first
I
started.
performed at the event.
When she
No,
first
but she
started.
was so nice to thank, and
Yeah.
it was really cool.
She was
put her
very
hand
nice.
on mine,
Yes, she did. She
and
did.
she was still sharp.
Sharp as a tack.
Yeah, I mean it's 2009. She didn't die till
Died in 99.
23.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're complete opposites on opinions. I hardly ever give mine. And you give yours
No, not true.
anytime you can. You do.
I like here. This is our show. I'm gonna give my opinion, but in real life, I'm 6'7".
You talking about?
In real
How
life,
tall-
I don't
how
give
tall are
opinions easily.
How tall are you?
Well, it depends on the day. Monday through Friday, I'm 5'5". Saturday and Sunday,
Gotcha.
I'm 6'7".
Gotcha.
I auditioned for a role. They wanted a Puerto Rican comic. So first they told me they were looking for someone a little taller, and I said I'm an actor. What height you want? I can play any height.
That's not how it works.
I know, but I said that. And then the guy said, we're looking for someone a little more Puerto Rican. I said, excuse me, my father was Puerto Rican, my mother was Puerto Rican,
I know, but
her mother was
you
Puerto
don't
Rican.
look. You don't look it.
Doesn't matter
I don't.
if I look it. I'm Puerto Rican.
I don't look either. I don't. I probably look more Italian than
What they meant to
you
say,
look more Italian.
but they couldn't say, was we're looking for a stereotype of a Puerto Rican.
They're moving.
Because yeah, I understand. And actually, the guy that got the role it was Mo Money with Damon Wayans. The guy that actually got the role was the scene was cut. We didn't even make the movie anyway.
My scene.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of doing
but I'm
something.
like, we're looking for someone a little more Puerto Rican. I'm like,
Yeah.
hello. So yeah, I have a.
But I don't disagree that you're not.
Well,
Probably what
I
you're
know, I
looking
don't look
for.
Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
I know. Your Uncle Ovi doesn't look. He looks even less Puerto Rican.
Yeah, Brian. None of us.
O.V.
really
Brian.
do. None of us really.
No,
look
none of us.
Like,
No, not really. I mean, I probably look the most Puerto Rican out of everybody in my family.
and that says a lot.
because I have a little bit of a brownish
What?
tone. Not a lot, but a little bit.
That's you. If you walked around and said, "Hey," everyone would just think you're Italian.
They do now.
They do. Yeah.
They do now. When I was in college,
Actually, when
I
you
had
had all your hair.
when I was in college, I argued with an Italian guy for a long time about he would not accept that I was Puerto Rican, and his final argument was, he said, "But your wife's Italian." I'm like, but it doesn't make me Italian.
If you're married to an Italian or you have any part of Italian, you're 100% Italian, right? Sebastian talked about that.
Yeah,
It's a real thing, man. It's a real thing. I'd lean on that side.
Well, you're half and half, so you can.
I
go
get to choose now.
one way or another.
That means
You could
nobody. That meeds nobody accepts me. Half and half babies
Right.
are like everyone goes. Well, you're not really one of us. You're not really. You end up in a pool
Right.
of nobody.
Millions of reasons.
What's that
What other
John
show?
Wayne thing? You don't even know how to hold a gun.
There's
I gotta throw this away.
well, no,
so I'm
that
just
was
holding
that
it
was
at this
Blazing
point.
Saddles.
Yeah,
Where it
one
said,
of them.
don't pay attention to that guy. He can't even hold a gun, much less shoot it. For the what was his name in the movie?
Who?
The kid. What was his name
What kid?
in the Blazing Saddles?
It was a kid.
Yeah, the Waco kid. No, what was his name?
The Waco kid.
Not the Waco. It wasn't Waco, was it?
That movie wouldn't even make it today.
No.
You can't do any of that.
Now that movie, when it came out, we're going way back. But that movie, when it first came out, Blazing Saddles,
Yeah.
theaters had to stop the film and rewind it and play scenes over because that's how loud people were laughing.
Wow. I do that all the time. So Deadpool and Wolverine just came out
Yeah.
on Disney Plus, and Autumn goes, "We do not have time to watch it. I had to drop her off at the airport." And so I'm like, "I'm not watching the movie." She goes, "Well, what on the earth are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, 38 minutes in, Chris Evans appears, and you think it's Captain America, and then you find out it's the Human Torch."
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're gonna just watch one scene?" I'm like, "You damn right I am." And so sure enough, I did.
I do that. I watch. I like watching movies over again. Not all movies.
Did you know that the big fight, Tyson versus Jake
Yeah, I
Paul?
didn't
Did
pay
you know it was
attention.
on Netflix?
I knew, but I didn't care.
Here's something really hilarious. We couldn't get it because the servers were down at Netflix.
Oh,
It's
right.
a Netflix
Right.
problem because we put on Disney Plus.
I heard
to
about it.
watch it. But Netflix sent like a questionnaire, and there were like tons of questions. One of them was, "Have you checked your router? Are you close to the router?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What are the next questions? Did you pay the bill?
Yeah, but how
Have
could
you?
Wait a minute. If they were down, how would anybody even see it?
I know, but also
Hello.
but also too, Autumn was cracking up when I said, "Have you paid the bill?" Because I started making up something. I was like, "What's the last one? Have you tried moving homes? Have you tried
Yeah.
moving to an area that has more internet, or just see whatever it is?"
It's so stupid. I didn't care about that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it, so
I just didn't
I was
care
going
about it.
to because it was, normally these things are pay per view, but it's free.
Yeah, but
But nobody,
interest.
almost nobody could watch it. It was just a circle, 25%. And then someone made a great joke because it was on Netflix, but it was also at AT&T Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who plays at AT&T Stadium? Cowboys, and they
Cowboys.
can never deliver.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get a kick out of like the news does that a lot. They do when there's a big storm.
Yeah.
They say
Check your router.
if you're experiencing a power outage, call 311.
Yeah, but
I'm like,
no one's
if you're
watching
experiencing
TV.
a power outage, you don't see this. I mean, Oprah did that one time. Oprah actually had a promo
The homeless one.
that said, if you're homeless or you know
Call
someone
us.
who's homeless, call us. And I'm like, if they're homeless,
Well, if you know someone who's homeless, great.
yeah, but if you're homeless, really, you're living
You're
in a
probably
box.
not watching Oprah at 3
Pretty
o'clock
sure you
in
don't
the
have a
afternoon.
TV.
And if you do, you're probably not watching Oprah at 3 p.m.
No, you're probably not watching.
Although, I mean, maybe there's one.
There could be one guy.
Yeah. I was homeless for 7
But
months.
those people don't think sometimes. I did a show
The
years
last
ago.
thing I was thinking about when I was living out of my car was finding
watching
TV.
Oprah.
watching
Yeah,
TV.
I mean-
I couldn't get to,
People don't think. I did a show years ago on literacy. and we had a woman from the Literacy Association to come on the show and talk about how important it is and what they're doing to help people. And I said, you know, at the end of the show, we always like to give out information. Do you have a phone number people could call? And she goes, oh, that would be just wonderful. I go, what's your number? She goes, it's 1-800 illiterate. And I said,
people can't spell.
Who exactly are you trying to reach again? Say 1-800 shit. Guess I'm going to work at McDonald's.
Oh my God.
I mean, and I told her, I said, that's what you read, because they put that up on TV.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? It's like the gambling site. They always, you know, the FanDuel and all that.
Yes.
And then at the bottom, if you have a gambling problem, call this number.
Us.
And then you call the number and you say, I have a gambling problem. And what do they say?
Stop
and the one you don't make it. But thanks for the call. Yeah, I said that you're mentioning the people doing the survey. That's another pet peeve of mine is when you're on Facebook and they say they're going to send you something free.
Nothing's free.
But they need your credit card number or you got to pay shipping. So I used to just delete them, but now when I see that and they want shipping numbers, they want shipping. I put comments back to say, if you're charging someone shipping, it's not free.
Yeah. So I actually messed up. I actually messed up because of that fear. So I got a message that said, "Thanks for being a fan. There's only murders in the building." It's a huge show on Hulu.
Yeah.
And it was their account, and I was like, "Oh, someone hacked their account." And so they're like, "We want to give you like a free gift." And I was like, "This is too big for you to do this on Instagram. You would have sent an email or like something else." And so they didn't respond, and then later they're like, "We can assure you this is real." But I still didn't do it, and then I found out later that it was real and that it was credited, and you go to this other site and you just fill out like a couple things and then they were going to send something. But it was too late where I messaged back. I'm like, "Thank you so much for getting back to me. Let me know this is real. If you could resend the link," because the link had expired. It was only like a couple days.
Yep.
So I messed up. I don't know what the free gift would have been. Probably a pen.
There's just so much of that stuff out there that's not real, and it's real easy. If you get an email or a text from somebody that's saying they're your bank or Social Security or anything like that, just call your bank. Yeah. That's what I do. I have my bank's number. Sometimes I don't even call the 800 number. A lot of times I just call the local branch, and I know somebody there, and I say, "Hey, I just got this email. Is this you guys?"
Right.
And they'll say, "Hang on." And they'll come and say, "No, that's not us."
Right.
And then you just don't do it because you hear these news stories. There's a lady, $200,000 or something.
Yeah, I would.
And I'm like, the first time they took your money, why don't you make a call? I mean, I feel bad for these people, but I don't feel real bad.
Just like you said that before.
Well, it's been out here. These frauds have been out here for a long time.
I was sad to see him go up Dancing with the Stars, but I wasn't that sad.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm really sad for this lady losing $200,000. Yeah, but I'm not that sad
because it's not new anymore. When this stuff was just starting, when the internet was starting again, that was happening a lot more back then.
But scammers,
now you're still getting caught.
Come up with different ways to scam.
It's still there's in the end, like I'll give you a metaphor that you'll understand.
Sure.
At the end of the day, all these frauds come to if you research it, they're all the same at the bottom. Similar to baseball players. Okay. A baseball player at bat, okay? Mm-hmm. You see baseball players who, they're like in the weirdest positions when right before the ball. They'll do this. Or they'll be like, one guy had a bat up here. But in the end, when the ball comes out of the glove, when the ball's coming at them, where do they all go? They all come here. They're all in a basic stance.
No, but they're ready to
Nobody swings from up here. But there are guys that do this. They wave the bat, and then as soon as the ball lets go, they're in a regular foundational
you just say they're in a hitting position.
But a standard. They all come down to this. Same thing with these frauds. They do all this. But in the end, it's here. And the way you get out of it is you make a call. Hello?
I know, but...
You call your bank. You call your Social Security. You call your insurance. You make a phone call. It takes you 10 seconds to find out Yes, we are trying to reach you.
Like a disclaimer thing, like old people listen up.
Old people better listen up.
I don't think you
that's
just
what we do
realize
to
that
old
you're
people, by the
70
way.
plus years old.
Not just old people. This is happening to younger people too. Where
I don't respond to messages.
I hate to say it, but I think it's
There's
just nature's way
tons
of
of
weeding out
messages
stupid
I never even respond to.
people.
I get calls all the time, and I always send things to voicemail.
I don't. People answer their cell phones to numbers they don't know.
Yeah,
And they're like, "Hello."
I've never done that.
No, you
know?
shouldn't.
Yeah.
If you don't know the number, don't
So
answer.
I travel with someone who answers
No.
every phone call that ever comes in because he knows that there's potential
There's
work
a
coming
thing called voicemail.
That's what I love. Yeah.
If a number doesn't go to voicemail,
Remember when I had- remember when I had-
if someone doesn't leave a message, it's a scam.
Remember when I was playing
Pretty
with the
easy.
voices on Google Maps.
Yes.
Excuse me. I was playing with the voices on Google Maps and I left one on.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that once you do that, it's in your phone. That becomes your Siri voice. And I didn't have a voicemail set up. It was just you've reached the number. And then it was in that voice and you left a voicemail in the exact same
I do voices sometimes.
Voice as the
Not all the time, but sometimes I did.
I didn't know that it did that.
Yeah.
So I had to quickly change that, and then I was like, okay, now I got to make an actual, like, voicemail.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the people whose voicemail starts with, "Hey there,
I know. So
I'm not here right now."
Didn't Andy do that? Didn't Andy do like, "Hey, how are you? I can't come to the." Andy Avalos did something like that.
No, he didn't do that.
He did something
He would never
like
do that. No.
I think so.
I know people who've done that and they've gotten mad at that.
Yeah. But I think that's.
I think that's it.
I think it's
to wrap
gonna
it
do
up.
it for today.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. We want to thank everybody for watching as usual.
Yeah.
The podcast is called
Can I call you Dad?
I Call You Dad, and we'll be back. We're going to try to do more of these more regularly.
Whenever we can.
Shorter versions, maybe. Talk about
First time shooting on a Saturday.
topical stuff. Holidays are coming up, so we want to make sure everybody has safe
We
and
should
happy
do
holidays.
Thanksgiving, Christmas.
We should do a thing. We should get a turkey in here. Interview a
It's an
turkey.
office. It's
I
the
know.
first time there's donuts and some
We could
COVID
interview a
tests
turkey.
back there.
I guess we could have like
I don't know how
a.
old it is.
We could go to Subway and get a turkey sandwich, and then interview the turkey sandwich.
We could do like a Friendsgiving here, like it maybe Andy, Eli, a
Yeah,
bunch of people, and just kind of
have it in the
shoot
round.
it.
Yeah, like the Pilgrims did with the Native Americans.
Yeah, put a little folding table.
Yeah. I love, there was a Native American on the Jay Leno show. He was the guy that played in Dances with Wolves.
I know you've told me this story a million times.
I know, but I didn't tell them. And
Sure.
Jay asked him how he was going to celebrate Thanksgiving, and he said, we really don't celebrate Thanksgiving. And Jay was kind of caught. All of a sudden he figured out, he kind of hit him like, oh, shoot.
Yeah,
And then he
Native
went on to say, we actually thought it was a goodbye dinner. We were like, let's feed these people, and maybe they'll go away.
Yeah, I remember watching that with you. He was an actor, right?
He was the guy that played opposite Kevin Costner.
But
in
did he
Dances
do
with
any other
Wolves.
movies?
Oh, a lot of other movies.
Okay.
Tons of other movies.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he did a lot of other movies, but that was my favorite moment.
That is
One
a
of my
pretty,
favorite
That
moments.
is a pretty badass line.
Yeah, was he said that.
We kind of thought it was
We
a
thought
goodbye
it would be
dinner.
a goodbye dinner. Let's feed them. Maybe they'll leave. Obviously not. So on that note, we are going to leave you, and I hope to see you at our next episode. Thanks everybody for watching.
Take care.